pickups and deliveries, mentions names and places without thinking about who might be listening. You used to tune out, focus on driving, treat the job like background noise. Now you memorize everything. Every name, every location, every fragment of a conversation that might mean something to Martinez. You report everything, and slowly the terror begins to feel like purpose. Year 1. Your intelligence has contributed to 3 arrests. Small fish like you were, drivers and dealers who got caught because you told Martinez where they'd be and when. You don't know their names. You don't want to know their names. They're abstractions, consequences of choices you've made to avoid consequences of your own. The math is brutal but defensible. Them or you. You choose you. Ruiz gets promoted. His business is thriving, which means your access is growing. You're trusted now, brought into meetings that were above your pay grade before. You meet lieutenants who oversee entire regions. You see the flow of money and product at scales that make your 2 kilos look like pocket change. You report everything, and Martinez's eyes light up with each new detail, and you understand that you've become valuable in ways that make your situation both better and worse. Better because the more valuable you are, the more the DEA protects you. Worse because the more valuable you are, the more danger you're in if anyone discovers the truth. Your mother gets sick in year 2. Cancer, the doctors say. Caught early, treatable, but expensive. Your legitimate job as a warehouse worker doesn't cover the treatments she needs. You ask Martinez if there's money available, compensation for the risks you're taking. She makes some calls. 2 weeks later, your mother's bills are being paid by a fund that doesn't exist, managed by an agency that will never admit to managing it. You're bought now, not just leveraged, actually purchased, your loyalty secured through your mother's chemotherapy. The DEA owns you the same way the cartel would own you, through debts you can never repay. The only difference is which master you serve. A test comes in year 3. Ruiz asks you to identify a leak. Product has been going missing, money isn't adding up, and someone inside the organization is stealing. He wants you to watch, to listen, to report back anything suspicious. You've become a spy for the cartel while being a spy against the cartel. The layers of deception are making you lose track of who you actually are. You find the thief. A young kid named Torres who's been skimming product to sell on his own. You report him to Ruiz because not reporting him would raise suspicions about you. Torres disappears 3 days later. You don't ask where. You don't want to know. You report his disappearance to Martinez, who notes it without comment, who adds it to a file that's building towards something you can't see. The guilt arrives like weather you can't predict. Some days you're fine, convinced you're doing the right thing, helping dismantle an organization that destroys communities and kills people. Other days, you can't stop thinking about Torres, about the drivers and dealers who got arrested because of your information, about the violence your intelligence enables on both sides of the equation. You're not a hero. You're just a survivor, doing what survivors do. Year 4. Martinez tells you they're ready to move up the chain. They want you to get closer to Ruiz, to earn enough trust to meet his superiors. They want names of lieutenants, routes for major shipments, the architecture of the organization at levels you've never seen. They're asking you to become more valuable, which means becoming more visible, which means becoming more likely to be discovered. You tell her you're scared. She doesn't dismiss the fear. She acknowledges it, explains the additional protections they'll put in place, the extraction plans if things go wrong. She tells you about witness protection, about the life waiting for you on the other side of this. New name, new city, new everything. All you have to do is survive long enough to get there. You push deeper. You volunteer for responsibilities that put you in rooms with important people. You become Ruiz's right hand, his driver, his confidant in ways that mirror the driver scripts you've watched play out in stories. You meet the regional boss, a man named Delgado, who looks through you like your furniture. You memorize his face, his habits, his schedule. You report everything. The organization starts to suspect a leak. Not you specifically, just the sense that information is flowing to places it shouldn't flow. Shipments are being intercepted at rates that can't be coincidence. Safe houses are being raided too precisely. Someone is talking, and the organization is starting to hunt. They bring in a specialist in year 5. A man whose only job is finding rats, whose methods are legendary in their brutality. He's found informants before, people who thought they were being careful, who thought their handlers had protected them. He found them anyway. The stories of what happened after are told like ghost stories, warnings that circulate through the organization to discourage exactly what you're doing. The specialist starts with the people closest to the intercepted shipments, working backward through the chain of information. Who knew about the route? Who knew the timing? Who could have passed details to law enforcement? He interviews everyone, watches everyone, builds a map of who knew what and when. He's patient, he's thorough. He has no deadlines except finding the truth. Your name is on the list. Of course it is.